Hello my fellow gamer, it's Griffin here and welcome to another POE 2 video. Today we'll have a look at how to trade in POE 2, a beginner's guide for players that would like to upgrade their gear and they don't want to be at the mercy of RNG when it comes to crafting. Trading in POE 2 can be a bit daunting. Where to begin, how to search and how to refine your search for that specific item, and what to do when the trade would be initiated. We'll cover all these steps and more in this video. Now, let's dive in. Step 1. Know exactly the item and the mods you're looking for, because refining your search can bring results that can solve more than one aspect of your character. Besides damage, the item may solve a mana issue or boost defenses. For example, a ring with resistances we're looking for is a good choice. But a ring with well-rolled resistances and cast speed, also increased elemental damage, mana and mana regen for sustained damage would be fantastic. We can find a pair of boots with good life and mana rolls, but without movement speed would be hard to justify the purchase. We can look for a wand with good spell and elemental damage, and the wand in this example is good for its level, but one with well-rolled cast speed, plus X value to spells, and also mana and mana regen besides good spell damage would be an obvious choice. Therefore, we need to be specific in our search, as it increases our chance to find a multi-purpose item. It boils down to budget, and the price can skyrocket for good items with good well-rolled mods, but it is a matter of fine-tuning the search and knowing your character's strengths and weaknesses. Step 2. Where to trade. If we visit Path of Exile 2 website, there is a trade button in the top menu and we'll need to log in to access the trade site. If you're playing on Steam, there is also an option to log in with your Steam account credentials. Great, now we are on the POE 2 trade site and the question is how to search for the item we want. If we search by item name without any filters, we'll display 10,000 items. We need to find a way to trim these down a bit. This menu on the left is quite self-explanatory. We can add min and max values for different stats, but more importantly the level of the item we're looking for and how much we're willing to spend, as we don't want to buy now something we can equip 20 levels later, or something that is great but way over budget. On the right side we have add stat filters, and here we have all the prefixes and suffixes available in the game. Obviously, certain prefixes and suffixes won't be available on certain items and we need to select the ones available for our item of choice. Let's say we play a mercenary character, we just finished a campaign and we want to look for a new body armor before we start mapping. We'll select an expert rogue armor. It is important to mention the maximum level of the item we'd like to buy, because if we'll find a good one, we'll be able to equip it straight away. We'll select level 65 for now. Also, we need to mention the maximum amount of currency we are willing to spend for the item, so we'll be able to afford it. We can choose the stats we would like to have on the body armor and the minimum values for each mod. Let's say we want life, minimum value 100, spirit, minimum value 30, and fire resistance, minimum 20. We can see the results are quite good and cheap, considering this armor has such a good amount of life and resistances, but we can refine the search even more. Let's say we want armor with minimum 400 value and also evasion with minimum 400 value as well. And the items that showing up now are even more appealing and closer to the desired outcome. However, there is another way of searching and it is a bit more advanced, but I think it's important to know about this method as well. Instead of selecting add stat filter, we can select add stat group and select weighted sum v2. This time we'll select the stats we want and we'll allocate for each stat a weight value. Once we search for the item, we can click on the weight sum and the best items relative to our weight distribution for those specific stats will show up at the top. I personally prefer this method, but feel free to experiment and find the one that suits you best. We can also search for unique items that can be essential to our build. For example, I'm looking for a snake pit ring for my witch character. Even for unique items, we can assign filters with minimum or maximum values for certain mods like cast speed for a refined search. Great, we found the item we want. What do we do now? Right next to the price of the item, it shows if the player is online, and next to their name there is an option, Direct Whisper. Once we'll press this button, it will send them a message that we are interested in purchasing their item, and we can see this in the trading chat. We go back to our hideout to make sure we have the trade notification enabled and the currency ready. Now we wait for the other player's response. They may be in a game, completing a map, fighting a boss, maybe doing other trades. A friendly suggestion, especially for new players to PoE. If a player doesn't respond to your request, give them a bit of time and don't spam them with direct whispers. They know about your request, but they probably have many other requests from other players, even requests for other items that they try to sort out as well. If they haven't responded in a reasonable time, try to find another item from another player. Being respectful to other players is key to a great PoE 2 community. Sometimes players respond very quickly, and when that happens we get an invite. Shout out to this player for such a quick response. If we'll accept, in the left side of the screen their character's portrait appears, and we'll need to click on the swirly icon and we'll get teleported to their hideout. Here we'll wait until they invite us to the trade. Very important note. The player that has the item for sale initiates the trade. In other words, the seller sends a trade request to the buyer. Very important note. We need to hover with the mouse above their item and above our currency to be able to finalize the trade. We'll double check that it is the correct item and also that we offered the agreed currency amount. Once we are 100% certain, we'll press accept and the item will appear in our inventory and they'll receive our currency. We are respectful and say thank you, and then we'll teleport back to our hideout. If we are planning to sell items, we need to have a stash tab that it is public with the items we want for sale, and we can also price each individual item. We should check first on the PoE 2 trading site the cost of similar items so we can price our items accordingly. In this case, considering we are the seller, we are going to be the ones that would initiate the trade or would send the trade invite once we get a notification that the other player is interested in the item we have for sale. And this concludes our look on how to trade in PoE 2. I hope you found this video useful, and if you enjoyed it, feel free to give it a like and don't forget to subscribe, as it will help the channel a lot and would be much appreciated. If you have any questions, feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. All the best. Bye.